Thank you so much. That youth tab, I think, will be a really, really valuable resource for all of us, and something that we can work with young people to look at and schools can use as well as employers. It'll just streamline the whole process. I just kept thinking about the panel. It was just so wonderful to see those businesses speak and those young people talk about how they can better work together to create great outcomes and have everyone just feel more confident about working together. As we've all mentioned, today is not about having all the answers, but it's about starting a new approach to addressing the gap in the workforce. And I think Amanda summed it up pretty well, is that we've got to try new approaches to have new outcomes. We can't just keep repeating the same thing. The challenges of COVID, isolation, industry shutdown and trauma all played a central part in creating our current workforce and the challenges we're having. However, these things are not insurmountable, and with the support of yourselves, we can continue to develop the Shepparton community. So I've got 6 points that I just want to sum up today with, and hopefully something that you can take away. Number 1, communication is key. Clear, non-judgmental communication is so critical and is often underestimated. We can all use language that can be disempowering or judgmental, and this can sound like using negative descriptors, so pretty much anything that has dis in front of it, disadvantaged, disengaged, that sort of thing. Or we can have language that implies negative stereotypes, so homeless, resi care kid, leaving care kid, foster care kid. This language we can all slip into. We all can use it in varying points. However, what it does, it implies that the experience that that young person is currently having is actually their identity. It doesn't separate it. And rather we need to remember that that is something they're experiencing rather than who they are. I don't refer to as Anita McCurdy, Senior Manager, my boss, who has a home. So why would I refer to such and such Year 12 student who's homeless? Expectations. Never assume a young person is aware of their role, and expectations ensure they're clearly understood. As Alana and Jenny spoke about, having expectations really help our young people feel more comfortable. And having those expectations really clear at the beginning of the work arrangement can really avoid challenging and kind of pretty awkward conversations in the future. One key thing that young people tell me is that they went to the job, they showed up, they did their first task, and then they didn't know what to do next. And that feeling of standing there, not sure who to talk to, feeling awkward, feeling uncomfortable, immediately puts them in outside that window of tolerance. And unfortunately for some of our young people, can create such a panic that they either avoid, they don't show back up the next day, or they just sort of run away from it, or it then can appear like they're not engaging. So if we can have someone in their workforce that they know can help them, it can be really, really helpful. This goes on to that relationship, and relationships are really integral. I know it's hard for business. I know it takes someone out of what they're normally doing to have that mentor, to have that one-on-one person, but that investment can really pay dividends, because you might not then have to train the next person up in 3 weeks' time when that person leaves. Job descriptions, my God. I went on to Seek yesterday. A creative, innovative and positive attitude, a strong attention to detail and take pride in your work, an ability to build and maintain rapport with others, an ability to work autonomously. Sounds really nice, but that's for an entry-level job stacking shelves. And if you're a young person who's struggling with a sense of confidence and identity, those points are in the section of to be successful you must might be a bit of a tall order and probably prevent our young people from actually applying. Try and make them slightly less overwhelming if you can, and use some language that doesn't describe the young person's whole personality too much. Utilise the Jobs tab. I think this, as I said, will be a great resource and a really, really streamlined web page to make things quite a bit easier. And as was asked before, if in doubt, call us. On the pamphlet that you've each got, there is some resources about trauma from the Australian Childhood Foundation. There is also all of our contact details of the people who've been involved today. And each one of those, we are happy for you to send us an email, talk to us. We might not know the answer, but we might know the person who will. So we'll be able to help with that. So from here, we're actually going to do a little bit of feedback because we really want to know if this is helpful, if this is useful to industry. Now, thank everyone who's been involved in today. Anita and I are from Berry Street, but we couldn't have done it without all the other partners that have been involved. So I'd like to thank Tawny and Leanne from the Grow Greater Shepparton, Abby, Beck, Ben and Lisa from the GM Len, and Lisa and Kristen from the Industry and Training Hub. The collaboration with these organisations have made today possible, and it's fantastic to work alongside organisations that are so dedicated in seeing positive outcomes. I think we can often work in our own silos and we're each trying to achieve the same thing, and it's so great when we just get everyone together and we think, oh, we're all doing it, let's do it together, rather than recreating the same resources and information and going to the same employers over and over again. I just wanted to say one thing about the experience of young people, and on the back of questions about how sometimes it doesn't work. And it doesn't. Sometimes as adults we go to jobs and it doesn't work. And I think it's about reducing that stigma, because I have been working with one young man who has had a very challenging life, and he went to one day of work. And that might not seem much. He didn't show up the next day, he didn't ring the boss. It was a bit of a, issue. But talking to him now, and he's in quite challenging circumstances now, he's able to reflect on that one day. He's like, do you remember I did that one day at work? And his confidence has grown from that one day. So yes, it's frustrating for you to put all this time and effort into one day of work for a young person, but don't underestimate what that can achieve and how that can help that person feel really, the pride in it. He just beams at me. He's like, yeah, bricklaying's really hard, but gee, I did it. And so now we know we as organisations can build on that. We can work with him to find that next thing, and that's what we're all trying to do. So thank you so much for coming along. Thanks for putting up with me chatting away. And
we love it. We love it.
It's been great.
I just need to say the food is coming and no one is allowed out of this room without one piece of food, because it is coming. It may be a bit early for lunch, but it doesn't matter. We still need to have it. And please stay around and network as well. We also want to offer anyone who hasn't been to the youth foyer, which is only a walk up the road here opposite GoTAFE, to come see me, and we'll organise something. We can do it now if it suits. I'm sure people may have to run off, so I don't want to pressure anyone, but if anyone wants to have a tour, we'll sort that out. I just need to thank Sarah because this has been a very big job, and Sarah's first event, so I think she's done pretty well. I don't know. It's been a new role, and Sarah's taken it with great strides running and has done an awesome job. And I just want to thank our young people again, Alana and Casey. Just really happy that you guys come. It just gives everyone it always is better when they're here. I think just to hear their side of it. But thanks everyone, really appreciate you coming and hope to see you at more of these down the track.